Hello, my name is Kristen, and today I'll be taking you all through a 1-hour yoga fitness class. This class will involve a lot of slow flows that build core strength and take us through twists that will lead up to Garudasana or eagle pose. You don't need any equipment for this class, but if you would like to, you can get on your mat. Maybe grab a pillow to put under your knees when we are in low lunges or child's pose, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for the joints. Additionally, a class plan will be linked below so that you can see the sequences that are featured in this class. Whenever you are ready, you can meet me seated on your mat, maybe cross-legged, maybe kneeling, maybe taking lotus, whatever is most comfortable for you. When you are ready, you can inhale to lift the shoulders, place the hands either palm face down or up on the insides of your knees. Create a nice long line from the tailbone through the crown of the head, lengthen the spine. And with an exhale, roll the shoulders back and down, relaxing them away from the ears, opening up the chest, maybe letting the eyes close. We'll take a few moments just to focus on the breath as it flows in and out through the nose. With each inhale, feel the physical body expanding, beginning with the belly, the rib cage, and the collarbones lift. Now, as we exhale through the nose, we feel that release, first at the collarbones. The rib cage turns back into the heart, and the belly relaxes towards the spine. Inhale, feel the physical body growing, expanding, exploring the environment that surrounds it. And exhale to release the breath that does not serve you, the energy that does not serve you. Using this breath through the nose to take us into this moment. With each inhale, we enter this space fully. With each exhale, we release what is not part of this moment. Any fears or anxieties or worries of things that have come or may come, can let those go. Focus just on how we are feeling in this moment. Today I want to offer up an intention for this class, a mantra you can offer yourself. And that is to say, I am all that I can be in this moment, and that is always enough. You repeat that to yourself. I am all that I can be in this moment, and that is always enough. You are no more or less you when you are in your home, when you are at school, when you are taking the role of a friend or a family member or a student. You're always all that you can be. You can be fully present here and get to know yourself here. Maybe taking a few breaths just to internalize that intention. How will our movements, the movement of the mind and body, help us to understand what it looks like to be here and to know ourselves? Or if you would like to, you can always discard that intention and set one for yourself, because you know why you came onto your mat today. Take one more breath. And when you are ready, you can inhale to take the hands up and overhead, open the eyes with a smile. The gaze follows the fingertips, and we'll begin to take some twists. So as we exhale, we'll turn to our right side, hooking the left hand on the outside of the thigh. That right hand reaches towards the back of your room, and you bring your gaze towards it. Inhale, draw the crown of the head upwards. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Open up the shoulder. Inhale, hands reach up and overhead. Exhale to twist towards the opposite side, hooking that inside arm across the outside leg. And taking a breath to open up. Inhale to rise. We'll take that twist one more time. Exhale, finding that twist. Opening up the collarbones through here. Inhale to rise. Exhale to twist. Beautiful. On the next inhale, hands come up and overhead. And as you exhale, gently around the spine, decompressing it, feeling the space between each vertebra, and just walk the fingertips forward gently. Let the crown of the head hang heavy here. And just walk the hands back and forth. Feeling a stretch here in the low muscles of the back, across the lats. Continuing to find your natural cycle of breath. Maybe take one more turn back and forth. And then when you are ready, you can roll over into your tabletop posture here with shoulders right over the wrists, hips right over the knees. We'll take a few cat-cows. So with an inhale, we can drop the belly. Lift the gaze slightly above the nose, finding our cow posture. And with an exhale, we can tuck the tailbone under, draw the gaze to our thighs, really around the spine, pressing through the center of the back, finding our cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze to your cow. Exhale to tuck the tailbone, gaze to thighs, finding your cat. Take this little cat-cow flow a couple more times on your own breath. Continuing to connect breath to movement. As we inhale, drop the belly, there is space in the body for new air, new energy. And when we round, when we draw the belly button towards the spine, that same breath is so naturally pressed out. We don't have to hold in what we do not need. Listening to the body, if you want to get a little funky with it, you can bring the gaze from hip to hip. Allow the hips to bound back onto the heels and rise, really just whatever feels good for you. And take one or two more cycles. And then we'll meet back with that neutral spine right in your tabletop. Here with an inhale, we're going to take the right hand forward, gaze just beyond the fingertips, and press the left leg back. Press here through the heel, toes pointed down towards the mat. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, keep the hips square here in line with each other. Exhale to round the spine. Draw the elbow and knee together. Pull the shin up and away from the mat. Engage the core to help you do so. Inhale to lengthen. Gaze is following the fingertips. Exhale to round. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, that right hand comes across the side body. It frames the hips. From here, engage the left glutes. Begin to raise the heel towards the ceiling. Maybe feeling a slight stretch in the spine. Option to stay here. Option to take the hand to the outside of the ankle. And then press one into the other. Taking a little stretch for the spine. Easy tiger. Deep inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly with control, release. Take two cat-cows. And then we'll do that on the opposite side. Inhaling to lengthen left arm, right leg. Long line from fingertips through the heel. Strong gaze here to help us maintain our balance. Exhale to round. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round. Beautiful, slow, controlled breath. Pull that chin in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, left arm frames the side body. Heel reaches towards the sky. Option to stay here. Option to take a little bind. Deep inhale. Exhale to release. Take 2 cat-cows. And then from here, take the knees out wide, almost to the sides of what might be your mat. And then draw the hips back onto the heels. Release the chest towards the mat. Reach the fingertips towards the front of the mat. Here we're finding our balasana, our child's pose. Throughout the class, whenever you would like to, you are free to come back to this posture, this restorative posture. Maybe to regain control and connection with the breath. Maybe to reorient yourself with the intention of knowing the self that you set at the beginning of practice. Maybe just to give the body a moment to cool off. Take one more cycle of breath here. And then when you are ready, press into the palms, tuck the toes under, send the hips up and back. Finding our first downward facing dog of the day, our Adho Mukha Svanasana. Begin to bend into one knee as you straighten the other. And then switch, walking out the dog. Feeling length here through the calves, through the hamstrings. Here we draw the gaze towards the ankles. Press the stomach into the thighs. Finding a long line from wrists through to the tailbone. On an inhale, lift the heels up and away from the mat. As you exhale, bend deeply into the knees, letting the stomach rest on the thighs. Look forward. Step the feet between the hands, forward fold Uttanasana. Bend as deeply into the knees as you would like to, maybe letting the stomach rest on the thighs. Let the crown of the head hang heavy, decompressing the spine. Sway back and forth. Option to keep hands connected to the mat. Option to bring hands to opposite elbow. One more deep breath. And then with an exhale, release the palms back down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, either coming onto the fingertips or bringing hands to the shins or the thighs. Long line here from the crown of the head through to the tailbone. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, hinging at the hips, rising all the way up. Hands meet above the head, gaze follows them. And as we exhale, the hands come through heart center, down to the sides, roll the shoulders back and down, open the palms and close the eyes. Finding our Tadasana, our mountain pose. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Feel the power, the energy, the heat in the body. Draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe draw the kneecaps upwards to feel the engagement of the quads. We are not simply standing, we are fully active and intentional in this asana. Feeling the fullness of our breath. Maybe even imagining that there is a ray of light coming from the ceiling, trying to reach our collarbones. We are offering the collarbones up to that light with each inhale. Last cycle of breath. And then on the next inhale, we can open the eyes with a smile. Send the hands up and overhead. The palms connect. Here we're coming to our first sun salutation, our Surya Namaskar A. With an exhale, we hinge forward at the hips and release the hands in line with the toes, bending deeply into the knees if you would like to. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank Palakasana. Shoulders right over the wrists here, long line from head to heels, option to drop the knees. One more breath here, engage the core, belly to spine. On the next exhale, keeping the triceps tucked into the ribcage, we'll begin to bend at the elbows, slowly, slowly, slowly lowering down, chaturanga. Once the chest and stomach meet the mat, we can begin to engage the mid and top of the back. Rolling the shoulders back and together, engaging the traps and the lats. We lift the chest up and away from the mat, gently pressing the fingertips. Or if you would like to, maybe lifting the hands all together, seeing that the center of the movement and the strength of our body is held in the back. One more breath here. Maybe engage the glutes. See how that helps you lift a little higher. And then exhale to release. This time we're pressing our fingertips gently into the mat. Maybe lifting a little higher, still allowing the center of that movement and that stretch to come from the strength of the back. Finding our baby cobra. And then exhale to lower. Inhale, press the palms flat into the mat. Here we can lift as high as the strength of our arms can take us. Still engaging the spine as we lift. And stopping wherever feels comfortable for us. Finding our full cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale to release. Last variation of this back bend, if you would like to take it, press the tops of the feet firmly into the mat. We inhale to lift. And then towards the top of our lift, we press the quadriceps away from the mat. Keep the shoulders down. Send the heart forward and up. Deep inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk through your dog here. Throughout class, continuing to find the length growing in the calves, in the hamstrings. Maybe the heels will begin to reach a little bit closer to the mat than they could the first time you found your down dog. On the next inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, step the feet between the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, breast swan dive all the way up. Option here to send the pelvis forward. Send the gaze and fingertips back, taking just a baby back bend. And then exhale, hands come through heart center. Down and to the sides, close the eyes. 3 breaths here. Maybe you're reflecting on how those initial movements felt. Maybe drawing your awareness back to the intention we set at the beginning of class. Maybe deepening the breath. We'll prepare for half of a second sun salutation. So on the next inhale, opening the eyes, taking the hands up and overhead once again. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Inhale here, exhale, chaturanga. Once again, option to drop the knees. Lower down slowly with control. Triceps brush the rib cage. Release all the way. And then inhale, take your back bend. Maybe it's cobra. Maybe it's upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips reach up and back. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. On the next inhale, we're going to send the right leg up and back. 3-legged dog. Keep the hips square here rather than lifting the right hip over the left. Press firmly through the heel. Try and draw a nice strong line from the head through that heel. And then try and press the left heel down in towards the mat. Deep inhale. As we exhale, we send the shoulders over the wrists, bring the knees into the chest. And then we're pressing the outside of that right ankle into the left thigh. Press the hips back. Taking the down dog pigeon. Maybe feeling a stretch here in the outside of that right leg, maybe in the glute. Deep inhale. Exhale, send shoulders over wrists. Plant the foot between the hand. Drop the back knee. Uncurl the toes. Take 1 or 2 breaths here, maybe to heel toe that foot just underneath the right shoulder. Send the pelvis forward and down, feeling a nice stretch in the hip flexor. Inhale, hands rise up and overhead, low lunge. This is where, if this feels at all uncomfortable for that left knee, you can grab a pillow. Encourage the shoulders away from the ears, relax them. Send energy up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale here. As we exhale, encourage the shoulder blades together. Bend at the elbows, find your cactus arms. Should feel engagement of the traps here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, bring the right arm forward, the left arm back. Draw the gaze towards that left hand. Little stretch for the obliques. Inhale, low lunge. We'll take that on the other side. The right arm reaches for the back of the room. The left arm is sent away from it. Gaze over to those right fingertips. And then inhale to lift. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift up off the back knee. Send that right foot back to meet the left. Drop the knees, send the hips back to meet the heels. Child's pose. Take 3 or 4 breaths here. Maybe grab some water if you would like it. Drawing your awareness back to that intention we set towards the beginning of class. How are you being mindful with these movements? Maybe not just exploring what it feels like for the body to go through these poses, what it feels like for the body to be exploring the room that you are in. The way in which our body is a source of communication and creativity. And then throughout this class, how are we being kind to ourselves? Take one more cycle of breath in that child's pose. When you're ready, tuck the toes under, hips reach up and back, down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back, 3-legged dog. Once again, hips nice and square here. Press through that left heel. And then press the right heel down towards the mat. Really deep stretch here for the calf, for the hamstring. As we inhale, send the shoulders forward, knee reaches for the chest. And then the outside of the ankle crosses over to opposite thigh. Send the hips up and back. Down dog, pigeon. 2 breaths here. On the next inhale, send the chest forward. Reach the foot between the hands. Drop the back knee. Uncurl the toes. Maybe walk that foot out. And focus on sending the pelvis down and forward. Nice deep stretch for the hip flexor. With an inhale, hands come up and overhead. Low lunge. Shoulders away from ears here. Inhale, root fingertips reach for the sky. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale to press up. Exhale, cactus, awesome job. Inhale, hands reach up. As you exhale, the right arm reaches towards the back of the room. The gaze follows. Left arm reaches away from it. Inhale to rise. Exhaling to twist towards the opposite side, using the gaze to help you deepen the twist of the spine. Inhale back to that low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands between the foot. Or on either side of the foot. Tuck those right toes, lift up off the back knee. Step back to your plank. Inhale here, exhale, option to drop the knees. Take your chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk through your dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step the feet between the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands to fold a little bit deeper here. Inhale, over swan dive all the way up. Gaze reaches for the fingertips. Fingertips reach for the sky. Maybe taking that baby back bend. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Then begin to sink into the hips, bending the knees. Pulling the knees behind the toes here, coming to our chair pose, Utkatasana. Long line from the tailbone through the head. We naturally have a J-shaped spine. You can allow that for that to happen, but don't over accentuate it. Maybe gently half tuck the tailbone under to engage the core. 1 or 2 more breaths here. Sink a little bit deeper. On the next inhale, we're going to twist towards our right. As we exhale, we're going to send the left elbow on the outside of the knee. Stack the shoulders here. Taking a twist. Begin to lift off of the left heel. Finding stability through all 4 corners of that right foot. On the next inhale, we lift up off the heel all together. And then as we exhale, we're going to step back to a crescent lunge. If you feel unstable here, maybe heel toe the feet apart. Find a little more stability. As we inhale, we're going to straighten up, finding our full crescent lunge. Inhale to straighten that front knee. Exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Take the hands to opposite shoulder. We're going to start with our left hand on top of the right. From here, draw the hands together, crossing them over, maybe interlacing the fingertips, maybe bring the palms together, maybe finding a keyhole from the wrists. As you inhale, lift the triceps up off of the chest. As you exhale, begin to fold, reaching the elbows for the core. Inhale to rise. Nice strong eagle arms here. Exhale to fold. And inhale to rise. As you exhale, release the hands. Inhale to come up and overhead. And as you exhale, open up that back heel. It's going to become parallel with the back of the room, maybe the back of your mat. Settle the torso right in the center of the hips. Bring the gaze over that front arm. Press firmly into the front knee, finding our warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, straighten the front knee, hands come up and overhead. Exhale back to that warrior 2. Inhale here. Exhale, the front arm reaches for the thigh, that back arm reaches up and overhead, extended side angle. Draw the gaze up to the tricep. Inhale, warrior 2. As you exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Step back to your plank. Inhale here, exhale, down dog. Inhale here, exhale, release. Child's pose. Return once again to the breath. Grabbing water whenever you would like it. One more cycle of breath here. Prepare the body for a little more heat. Now when you're ready, tuck the toes under, hips reach up and back. Downward facing dog. Walk through the heels. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step forward, forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way. Exhale. Palms come into the chest, bend into the knees, chair pose once again. You can play around with it this time, maybe sending your weights back to the heels, and then maybe to the ball of the feet, maybe lift the heels. Feel deep engagement of the calves. And then exhale to release. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, we're twisting towards the opposite side here. Hooking the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Stack the shoulders. Gaze comes to the side of your room. Begin to come light on that right foot. Maybe lifting it up and away from the mat. And when you are ready, stepping it back. Finding a twisted crescent lunge here. You can heel toe the feet apart. Find a little more stability. Give yourself grace if you fall out of it. Always okay. Inhale to lift. Full crescent lunge. Exhale, this time we're taking the right arm over the left. as we find our eagle arms once again. Inhale to lift the triceps up off of the chest. Firm engagement of the shoulders. Sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. Deep inhale here. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lift. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lift, and then we're going to open up the arms. Take that back foot parallel with the back of the room. Gaze comes over the front middle, fingertips finding your warrior two. Sink deep into that front knee. Torso growing right out of the hips. Gaze over the fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front knee, hands come up and overhead. Relax that front quadricep. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, that front arm reaches for the thigh. And then that top arm reaches up and overhead, tricep flying over the ear. Extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale to frame the foot. Step back to your plank. Take 2 breaths here. Deep inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to child's pose. Grab some water. Reorient yourself with the breath. When you're ready, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Lift high up off that left heel, and then begin to open the hips, stacking one on top of the other, maybe letting the toes reach across the mat. And then take a few circles with the knee. As you exhale, crunch the knee into the chest. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, draw the knee over to the right elbow. Inhale to center, and then step it back. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Begin to stack the hips, opening up, lifting high up off of that right heel. Inhale here, taking gentle circles. And then knee comes towards the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, knee comes towards that left tricep. Deep inhale. Exhale, step it back. 1 cycle of breath here. And then release back to your child's pose. From your child's pose, we'll press back up into our tabletop posture. Here with an inhale, we can lift up off that right hand. Stacking the shoulders one on top of the other, gaze comes to the fingertips. And as we exhale, we thread the needle, sending the right shoulder onto the mat, right cheek as well. Using the left hand as a little kickstand, so we don't put too much pressure on the side of the head, on the neck. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale, that right arm reaches up and overhead. Exhale to release. Take that on the left side as well. Inhale, left arm reaches up and overhead. We stack the shoulders. Exhale to weave it through. Shoulder, side of the face meet the mat. Pressing gently into that right hand. Maybe using it to help you stack the shoulders a little bit more. And then inhale to lift. Exhale to release, tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step the feet between the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. As we inhale, we're going to walk the fingertips a little bit in front of us. If you're using a mat, maybe right to the top of the mat. And then we're going to send the thumbs towards the sky. As we inhale, we're going to lift halfway and then hold here. Engage the core, bend into the knees if you would like to. Create a nice long line from tailbone through the fingertips. Deep inhale here. Exhale to fold. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, send the hands forward, thumbs reach towards the sky, lift halfway. Engage the core, sit the hips back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, fingertips reach for the sky. Exhale, hands come through, heart center. Down into the sides, close the eyes, take 3 breaths here. Here we're going to begin to work on our balance a little bit, preparing ourselves for that eagle posture, a wonderful balanced twist. So first we're going to prepare ourselves just to balance on one leg at a time. So we're going to start with our right leg, maybe bring the hands to the hips, and just pressing into the left foot, we lift up off of the right, making the hips uneven as we lift that right hip up. Maybe beginning to swing the foot back and forth gently. Rather than bringing our awareness to the ankle, we draw it into the core. With an inhale, we're going to draw the knee in towards our chest. Here, try and square the hips once again. Stay here for 3 breaths. Maybe if you would like to draw the hands to the hips. And 2, 1, slowly release. Shake out the feet. Press into that opposite foot, that right foot. Begin to lift up off the left. Maybe swinging it back and forth once again. Drawing the awareness to our core, how stable and strong it is our center. We are already drawing the knee up towards our chest, maybe wrapping the arms around it, keeping the chest nice and broad. Still sending the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the hands to the hips, 2 more breaths. 1, release. Shake out the feet. Inhale, we're taking that right knee in towards our chest once again. And then as we exhale, we're going to round the spine and reach our nose for the knee. Here we're focusing on how we shift our gaze to follow our movement. And because our gaze is stable, we are stable. Inhale to lift. And exhale, release. Try that on the other side. Inhale, taking the left knee into the chest. Prepare ourselves, transition the gaze. The gaze is reaching down as we round our spine. Nose reaches for the knee. Inhale to lift and exhale to release. Shake out the legs. Awesome job. And we are ready to transition to our full eagle. We recognize that whenever we come to a peak posture, we know that we are no more or less of a yogi, because we can find it today or not. When we come to these peaks, these challenges, we always look at ourselves with childlike wonderment, excited to challenge ourselves, put our body in new spaces, find relationships between limb and limb that we haven't seen before. Remember, there's no place for ego on our mat. When we try this out, we're just excited for what we can learn. When you are ready, sink into the knees and the hands up and overhead, chair pose. Take the hands into heart center. Here we're going to take the left arm over the right, hug opposite elbow. Draw the hands into each other once again. You can interlace the fingertips or draw the palms together. Inhale to lift the triceps up and away from the chest. When you are ready, begin to lift up off of that right leg. Use a strong and stable gaze right beyond the keyhole made by the arms. Inhale to lift that right leg. As you exhale, try and cross the thigh over the opposite thigh and then sink down into your eagle. Awesome job. We'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Strong, stable gaze. You've got this. Inhale, lift the triceps. Exhale to release. Shake it out. Great job. Inhale to lift and exhale to sink back into your chair. We're taking this on the opposite side. This time, bringing right arm over the left. Drawing hands together, sinking nice and deep. Lifting up off of the other leg. Inhale to lift the triceps. Lift up off of that left heel. And then we're crossing it over. Once again, stable gaze. You got this. Maybe acknowledging that one side feels different than the other. That's always okay. Just noticing these things about our bodies, never with judgment. 1 more cycle of breath here. Inhale, lift the triceps. Exhale to release. Awesome job. Shake out the hands, shake out the feet. Take a few shoulder rolls. We're going to bring the hands to the hips, heel, toe the feet wide and away from each other. Inhale to roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale slowly with control. We're taking a wide forward fold. Release the hands, bend into the knees. Okay, you can take the feet as wide as you would like. Send the toes a little bit away from each other. Gently sway back and forth. Letting the head hang heavy here. Decompressing the spine. When you are ready, walk the left hand over to the right ankle. And then as you inhale, stack the shoulders. Maybe that's enough of a stretch. Maybe you want to take a little bit deeper. You reach the right arm all the way up and overhead. The gaze follows. And exhale to release. Take that on the other side as well. Walk the hands over. The right hand reaches for the outside of the left ankle. Inhale, arm reaches up and overhead. Exhale to release. Walk the hands back into center. Let the head hang heavy. Sway back and forth here. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, slowly begin to sink into the hips, releasing them all the way down. Here we can bring the hands into heart center, press the elbows to the insides of the knees, sending them away from each other, finding our malasana, our yogi squat. If this feels uncomfortable, you can draw the heels a little closer together, the toes away from each other. If your heels aren't quite reaching the mat, heel toe the feet apart a little bit further. We'll just take 2 breaths here. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to send the hands right behind you and take a seat. Here we're going to bring the palms face up, right beyond the knees. And then lift the feet up, finding our boat pose. Here you have the option, especially if you feel a stretch in the hip flexors that prevents you from engaging the core, to bring the hands just behind the hips and lift the legs. or release the feet and keep the hands lifted, whatever feels best for you. We're going to hold our boat for 3 breaths. Maybe sinking a little bit further back. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Keeping that nice long line from tailbone to head. 1 more breath. You've got it. A little shaky, and that's okay. Inhale here. As we exhale slowly with control, we release all the way down to the mat. Take the hands up and overhead. The gaze follows. Point the toes away from us. Point the pointer fingers in the opposite direction. Full body stretch. And then begin to walk the feet towards one side, keeping the hips where they are. And the arms almost try and meet them, taking a little banana. And then we can reach for the other side. Just stretching out the side body. Inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to reach the knees in towards the chest. Use the arms to hug them. Rock back and forth here, like a little ball massaging the spine. With an inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. And then just take a few circles with the ankle. And then we're going to lift the left leg up to meet it. Here we're going to take the leg and cross it over the opposite leg so that right ankle is on the left thigh. We're going to bend the left leg and wrap the arms around the left leg. Inhale to pull the leg in towards our chest. This is our supine pigeon pose. Here we should feel a little stretch when we are using the arms to pull. In the outside of the leg, those abductors, and maybe the glutes. Take 3 more breaths here, gently rocking back and forth. If this is too deep of a stretch, you have the option to release the hands. If you would like more intense of a stretch, you can straighten the leg and reach the hands up for it. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale to lift the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest, rock back and forth. Inhale, the left leg reaches up. Take a few circles with the ankle. The right foot reaches up to meet it. We cross the left leg over the right. The ankle comes to the outside of the thigh. We bend the knee towards us, wrap the arms around that right thigh. Pull it in nice and close. Gentle rock back and forth. With each inhale, pulling the knee towards us, feeling that nice deep stretch through the abductor, maybe a little bit in the hip flexor as well. Once again, option to stay here. Option to release the arms. Option to extend that right foot. 1 more breath. Exhale, both knees come into the chest. Deep inhale. Exhale to straighten the left leg down. Take the right leg, cross it over the body, lifting up off of the right hip. Draw the hands out to a T to opposite sides and bring the gaze over to the right fingertips. Supine spinal twist. Here, press both shoulders down in towards the mat or the floor to help you open up the chest. Maybe drawing your awareness to how the breath feels in this twist. We can't fully expand the stomach. So maybe we're deepening the breath through the chest. Maybe we're drawing our awareness to how the breath is not quite as full, but we don't need all of the energy at this moment, because we're starting to cool down, starting to use less energy, starting to orient the body with stillness, with calmness. Maybe drawing our awareness back to that intention of feeling this moment, of knowing that you are all that you can be in this moment, that that is good, that is enough, that is wonderful. If the breath throughout this class, those cycles of inhales and exhales that empowered us to transition between postures, was a fire breath. The breath is now the softest breeze. Maybe it's the breath that just licks the tips of a blade of grass, or blades of grass. A wind that is gentle enough so that the grass is swaying a bit, but it still feels the heat of a summer sun. On an inhale, we're lifting the knee towards the chest, pressing that right hip back down into the mat. Hug it nice and close, and then exhale to lengthen it. Inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, cross it over to the right side of the body, lifting up off of that left hip. Hands come out to a T, gaze to opposite arm. Once again, pressing both shoulder blades into the mat, opening up the chest. Maybe noticing that our body feels different on each side. Focusing on the stillness. Because when the body is still, you can understand the movement of the mind. Maybe we could become aware of the passing of thoughts, turning inwards, holding each thought for a moment. This is the thought of this moment, and then letting it pass so that you can be fully invested in the moment that follows. Be true to who you are now, right now. One more cycle of breath. With an exhale, pressing that left hip into the mat. Inhale, knee to chest. Pull it nice and close. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Take that full body stretch. Exhale, knees reach for the chest once again. Here you have the option to stay in that little ball. Or if you would like to, you can reach the hands around the outside of the feet or draw peace fingers around the big toes and reach the knees wide. The outsides of the hips, and maybe hook the elbows to the insides of the knees and rock back and forth, taking a little happy baby pose. With each inhale, we press the shoulders into the mat. And with each exhale, we press the knees towards the mat. Rocking back and forth, looking up at the ceiling. Maybe slowly beginning to blink the eyes to a softer gaze. In a few moments, we'll be turning towards our Savasana. If you would like to, I encourage you to take a moment just to get up and turn off a light. Or if you have your pillow, you can put the pillow over your eyes. Or if you liked the light, you can just discard that, keep it on. Whatever feels best for you. As you exhale, lay the legs long out in front of you, a little wide. Reach the hands palm face up to the sides, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take a moment for a full body scan. Begin to relax the toes, maybe wiggling them at first, feeling what it's like to hold tension in them and then release the tension. Feel tension in the calves and in the quads, squeezing them, allowing blood to come towards them, and then relax them. Squeeze the glutes. What does it feel like? Maybe the glute squeeze lifts the hips up away from the mat just a little bit, and then exhale to relax them. Inhale, hands become fists. We squeeze the core nice and tight, and then exhale to release it. Clench the jaw, squeeze the eyes tight, engage the shoulders. Feeling the tension in the body, and then last exhale, release that tension. And the body can relax. Here we find our Savasana, place where, because we are done with our physical practice, we can turn inwards and begin working through the practice of the mind. From wherever you were on your inward journey, you can begin to draw awareness back to the physical body. First, just by deepening the breath and reorienting yourself to the sensation of the chest rising and falling. Maybe wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, feeling those small, fine motor movements. When you are ready, you can turn to one side. Turning to the right opens up yin, restorative. Turning to the left opens up yang, energizing. Rounding the spine, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Finding a comfortable fetal position. You're feeling safe. Feeling comfortable. Knowing that you are so capable of protecting yourself, of nurturing yourself, of providing yourself everything you need to thrive. Take one more breath here. And then when you are ready, begin to press into the hands, lifting up slowly, 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 blinking the eyes open. You'll cross the legs and take one final breath together. As we inhale, the hands reach up and overhead. The palms connect. As we exhale, the hands come to the third eye, to the forehead. May your thoughts be kind. May your thoughts be of your truth. The hands come down to the lips. May your words be kind. May your words be on behalf of your truth. When the hands come to heart center, may you intend to act with kindness. May you intend to act upon your truth. Namaste means the light and love in me honors and respects that very same light and love that resides within you. You can say to me, as I say to you, Namaste. Thank you so much for spending this hour with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.